Okay. Hello, anyone that's here. This is a really impromptu live. I typically only go live with patrons, but I thought it might be fun to kind of do a channel-wide one while I put some plastic covers on some books to prepare for packing. Hi, Sarah. Thank you for joining. I'll be talking to you in not too long, actually, for our reuniting of the Only Good Book Club. Excited. Although I did not read the last book that we picked. I didn't read anything, actually. So it wasn't just the book that we picked. I think I'm going to be wrapping manga today because those are the sizes that I have. And Hayato has a lot of manga. I have a decent amount, but he has way more. Yeah. Have you been reading anything good recently? Let's see, what books do I have here? Tokyo Ghoul. A bunch of Hayato's Tokyo Ghoul copies. Let's just catch up first. Yeah, right? We need to see how everyone's doing before we jump into reading again. Because I feel like all of us, just the end of the year, got a little crazy. So yeah, I have Hayato's Tokyo Ghoul 9, 10, 11. I wonder if does he have the whole collection here? I know you've mentioned Tokyo Ghoul before, Sarah. Have you read it? I watched, okay, I'm like horrible. Hi, Aubrey. Thanks for stopping by. Hi, Crystal. I'm about 100 pages of Ordinary Monsters, and I'm obsessed. Yeah, you were mentioning that it's one of your many reads, but that's the one that has your most attention right now, right? But yeah, I know Tokyo Ghoul is real popular. I started watching the anime, and then I stopped, as I'm wont to do, for literally no reason. Just never finished it. But I liked what I saw. I think I watched the first maybe 3 or 4 episodes, but I didn't know how to. I think he has the whole set here. Hello, everyone who's joining. We're just hanging out. I literally have no purpose for this live except to wrap some books. And then also, I'll mention this probably later in the live just in case if new people come. But a lot of people, when I asked what Japanese content they want before Hayato and I move, a lot of people mentioned that they wanted to know about like daily life. And they had a bunch of kind of specific questions or wanted to know small things. And that's kind of hard for me to do in a vlog because I don't know exactly what people want to know. So I also want to give this opportunity to have people like ask questions if they're curious about my life here or whatever. It's easier if it's a Q&A format, and I thought live might be nice for that. I just binged Parasite because your husband likes it, and oh my god, it's perfection. Yes. Also, yes, I love Tokyo Ghoul, even though it's very much teenage anxiety. That's kind of a vibe sometimes, though. Yeah, that's kind of a vibe. For Parasite, yeah, I haven't seen the anime, but I have read the first volume, and I'm halfway through the second one now. Actually, that's one of my goals today is to finish that. And yeah, I'm so glad that you liked it, Sarah. I love the pontifications on humanity, morality, right? Migi and I think it's Shinichi are a really interesting pair together. So Hayato said, he's like, you're going to love it. You have to read it. And he's correct. So did you watch the anime? I think you said you just binged Parasite, right? So I assume that means you watched it. And yeah, I put Wayward Girls aside for now just because I can't stop thinking about Ordinary Monsters. That's your brain telling you what you need to be reading right now. right? Just go with it, you know? Also known as mood reading. We have a word for that, Taylor. Yeah, I've really embraced mood reading. I haven't even started Wind and Truth yet because I binged the whole series, like focused on it to get ready to read it. And then I got there and I was like, I need a break. so I've been reading some shorter stories. Right now I'm reading Falling in Love with Hominids by Nayla Hopkinson, collection of short stories. They're interesting. I don't know. I expected to like them more than I am so far. There's a couple that have hit me hard. They're sad. They're haunting and sad. But I haven't stopped reading. Like there's an addictive quality to them, even though they kind of make me sad. So there's that. I watched the anime and the Korean live action. It's a different story in the same world. I did see there was a release. I think it was on Netflix that I saw that. And I wondered if it was connected. Oh, just to show you guys what I'm doing and why you're hearing plastic. This is one of the book covers that I bought. It's for this size manga. And then I got one other cover here. And this is for like the omnibus editions, the special editions, that kind of thing. So I wanted to test them out. And so I've already wrapped my I think it's volume 3. Yeah, volume 3 of Monster here. And these aren't like amazing covers, but they'll do. Because I looked into Mylar and listen, I don't have the budget to be wrapping my books in that right now. So we're getting cheaper covers, but it'll, keep them from bending in transit. And that's kind of the whole point, right? So also just realized from this angle, you can see the always covered Sumire shelf down here. These are all of her books. She's taken over the bottom 2 shelves of my bookshelf. So when I film, it's just from here up. All right. I'm not the best at these yet, so I'm going to take my time here. I think I put this in first. So yeah, Tokyo Ghoul #1. This is what I'm wrapping at the moment. From what I recall of Tokyo Ghoul, it was like, oh wait, I don't put that side in first. Do I? I don't think I do. Hold on. So they have like this one, like slip area, and then you slide it through more than you need. Put it in this side that has an edge to it, and then fold it over and tape it. So, have you read any more of Monster? No. I could not put it down once I, started reading it, but I haven't picked it up in a hot minute. I started Parasite, Monster, and Fruits Basket, Another. I started all of those like in December and only read the first volume. I don't know why I'm so shit at watching TV and, following through with manga specifically. It's just a bad habit of mine, but I want to read more. I think I've mentioned many times that I did read Monster, or at least most of it at some point, but I was too young to care, like to get the themes in it. And so revisiting it, it's kind of like reading it again for the first time because I didn't remember a lot of the key points, and I can't wait to continue. But no, so far just volume 1 on this reread. Have you read it, Aubrey? Have you read Monster? One day you'll get your shelves back, but she'll need her own shelves. Exactly. I want her to, she has a ridiculous amount of books already, and that is mostly my fault because I'm the one buying her all the books. But yeah, she'll definitely need her own shelf eventually. There we go. One safe and sound. It's going to take forever. I also didn't get myself a drink. I should have done that. I'm out of my favorite coffee, which is just a crime, honestly. So I need to go grind some beans in order to make the coffee that we have, and I'm feeling lazy at the moment. Let me see. that probably falls into the same brain chemistry as mood reading. Your brain knows where it's comfortable, and that's in books. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll binge a K-drama. But I'll binge it for a night or two and then forget about its existence. Even if I'm absolutely loving it. Like I did that with Crash Landing on You. Could not stop watching it for like 2 to 3 days. And then I stopped. And I was like, then one of my coworkers asked me if I'd watched it, and I said that I stopped part of the way through, and he was like, "What is wrong with you? Why would you do that?" I'm like, I don't know why I did that. So I did finish it eventually, but yeah, it's just my habit, unfortunately. Let's get this tape on there. Well, that was better than the first one. All right, we're getting better. Freyrin, My Happy Marriage, and Apothecary Diaries are my new anime obsessions. I've heard a lot about the Apothecary Diaries. I've had that pitched to me before. Was it by you, Sarah? I feel like I've had it pitched to me, and I was really interested in it, and then I just never actually followed through to read it or watch it. What's the premise of that again? I love the vibes of Apothecaries, though. Like, I'm so there for that. Give me all the potions and the doodads and the plants overflowing in the windowsill. Like, I love that vibe. Yes, I've read it all, and it's incredible. Yes, I know it will be. I know it is. I just have to, follow through with it. I'm sure you'll love it whenever you continue. Very dark, though, so you got to be in the right place for that. Yeah, I remember. I don't remember how much of it I read the first time I read it, but I remember being like, "This is not fun." So I imagine that it got. It's probably when it got dark, and younger Taylor was like, I'm not here for this. I'm here for the vibes." So I just stopped. But I definitely want to. I'm reading it in Japanese as well. And so manga here depends on the age group that it's intended for. Some of them will have the hiragana in very small print above the kanji. So that if you don't know the kanji, you can sound it out and try to figure it out and say, oh, that's that word. But for manga that are for an older age range, there's a lot less of that. And for monster, there's some very specific like government terms and like just some terminology that would not be daily life. And there's quite a few kanji that I just have to like context clue my way through because there's no other hints. Well, it looks like Tokyo Ghoul also doesn't have, it doesn't have the hints for you. So if you look here, let me try to show you here's one. Okay. So you can see this speech bubble here. There's a bunch of kanji, but no like smaller hiragana letters to show you how to say it. So when I read manga that are at that level, it's very good studying for me, and I do learn new kanji. But if I can't context clue my way through, which I usually can, it takes me a lot longer to read than reading like Fruits Basket, for example, which a lot of slice of life manga has the hiragana in it, probably because it's meant for a younger age range, I assume. But yeah, Fruits Basket will give me hints, which makes me able to read it quicker, allows me to read it quicker. Whatever, you guys get what I'm trying to say. That sounds too much like studying. It is, though, Crystal. It is studying. My reading skill has plummeted after having Sumire because I was really focusing on studying up until pregnancy brain hit me hard. And after that, I just haven't been able to prioritize it in the same way that I was before. So while my, Hayata's family doesn't speak English, so I'm consistently speaking, listening, using Japanese every single day of my life. And I am reading it in the daily life sense, but I don't like sit down and study kanji anymore. I haven't been able to with what time, right? So my reading comprehension has plummeted. So it is studying when I read the manga. Maybe that's why I've read one and didn't continue. No, but see, I blew through Parasite. Like, I was so interested in that it didn't bother me. So I don't know. It's fun and it's a good story, but yeah, there is some studying to it. Okay, hold on. I missed a couple chats here. Oh my God. Hi, Connor. Welcome. Yes. Well, your fiance has fantastic taste because Fruits Basket is the creme de la creme of found family and just immaculate vibes. All of the different, like, disparate personalities that are forced to be in proximity in that book and how they learn from each other. Listen, that series changed my brain chemistry. I will love it until the day that I die. Absolutely worth it. But the first anime adaptation is just ass. Please don't watch it. It's so bad. But the new one is good, which I haven't finished. So let me not speak on things I don't know. I watched the beginning of it, and what I saw was good. How's that? Hi. Amen. Yes. See, I know I found my people when I praise Fruits Basket and my chat is full of people agreeing. That's how I know I've done something right. Kanji is what made me give up on Korean. I don't know anything about Korean writing. So is there like a difference? Is it multiple, what's the word I'm looking for? Multiple alphabets like in Japanese, right? Japanese has the kanji, katakana, hiragana. Is it like that with Korean? I have no idea. Educate me. I guess they have their own version of kanji based on that comment. I also missed back here, Sarah, you had said Apothecary Diaries is set in historical times. Not sure if it's Chinese inspired or authentically Japanese, but a girl gets kidnapped and sent to the palace. She's smart and her dad is a doctor. She heals people and solves crimes. That line's all I needed. She heals people and solves crimes. Hell yeah. I'm into that. She watched the new one glued to her laptop, stressed out of her mind. Yeah. That's one thing that the new anime does well, is it captures not only the beautiful found family aspects, but also the tension that's present. Like, the Honda household is fucking terrifying. And the fear that I felt for Toru at certain points, like there's a, it's a very abusive family, and so that kind of insidious abusive underbelly, that's really important to the series as well. And I feel like the new anime really captured that. Why am I struggling so hard with this one? Oh my goodness, I just ripped the top of the cover. Bless my heart. Hayato won't care as much as I do, so I think that's all right. But Korean uses a very simple system plus the Chinese characters. I see. Okay, so it's like a combination. I don't blame you for giving up when kanji reared its ugly head. I mean, there's 3,000 of them, over 3,000. And it's just like, writing them is also a whole other beast, There are a lot of my Japanese friends who are actually will be writing and realize they've forgotten how to write a particular kanji because they haven't written it by hand in so long, because everyone types now, right? So there's just so many elements to kanji. I mean, it's depressing if you think about it, that people are forgetting how to write the language. It's more, obscure kanji that they wouldn't use typically, but still. So I'm like, if my Japanese friends are forgetting, there's no hope for me. It's all over. Not really, but I think ironically, I'll probably study more when I go to the States, because I would like to enter a Japanese school again to learn, because basically the next level of Japanese test for me is not daily conversation, right? The next level will be more academic or political news, like things like that. And I'm just not going to be able to practice that in my daily life. So I think a class is kind of my only recourse, besides self-study, but clearly I'm not doing so good at that. So I'm the type of person who needs like a looming deadline because I'm a perfectionist. I'll work through that eventually in therapy one day. But yes, if I need the fear of failure. And then I can kind of kick it into gear. I don't know if anyone else is like that. I can do self-study, but if I'm really going to learn, I need that deadline. Number 5 is done. These covers are so pretty. Truly. Well, this one looks quite terrifying. I guess they're supposed to look quite terrifying, considering they are ghouls that eat. I think they eat and they murder people. I don't know if they eat people. I don't remember. I need the fear of failure is such a vibe. It's true. It's true. The perfectionist in me needs to be afraid. And then I get shit done, you know? So, yeah. This is going to take forever, guys. I'm on the 6th one. I'm going to have to do a million of these lives over the next couple months. But I guess that's nice. It's nice to do this with someone rather than by myself. Like, why not? I'll just start calling them book wrapping lives. We can all just hang out. Come on. There we go. Okay. If I haven't convinced myself I'm not going to make it, the focus is weak. I feel like you've probably experienced that a lot recently then with your writing, because I know you've been kicking that into gear, especially with your Kickstarter. The news is out. Congratulations, Crystal, on your absolutely beautiful Kickstarter for Legacy. I never call it Legacy. For Brightwash. The thing is stunning. How far are you into Tokyo Ghoul? I am a couple episodes into the anime. And I liked what I saw. Like, there was no reason that I stopped watching it. Truly. It is impossible to meet this deadline. Cue the let's get down to business, Jeff. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Here's the next one. Number 7. I realized I wasn't showing you guys the covers. It's so pretty. It is. The foiling on the Brightwash Kickstarter is just to die for, truly. So yeah, Sumide is, we started bringing her to nursery school on Saturday for like a 3/4 day so that I could do some stuff in the morning. So like this, because if I try to do this while she's around, she's going to want to open and flip through all the books, and it's just not going to happen. I also have a private lesson that I'm teaching in a little bit, and then I also need to do some editing. Y'all, my Stormlight Archive reread vlog is going to be the death of me. I am so fucking close to yeeting this thing that you're on right now, this computer, out the window. I don't know where the error is. So it's the second Stormlight Archive reread vlog. I finished this over a week and a half ago now. I finished editing. It's beautiful. I'm happy with it. The export will not go through. But there's no error messages that come up during the export. It's just when it finishes, it gives me an error message. And the timestamp is for the end of the vlog. And you know my vlogs, okay? They're not short. It's like an hour and a half. of footage. You guys are or an hour and 15 minutes. You're going to get an hour and 15-minute vlog. And it gives me the timestamp for the end of the vlog where the error came up. And I'm like, that's so unhelpful. I can't even express how unhelpful that is. So I'm trying to troubleshoot online because Adobe they don't care. They're like, you're going to buy our product anyway. So their customer service is absolute ass. Like, you just go to their forums, and it's just other people who don't work for Adobe trying to help other people like me who are self-taught figure out what the hell's going on. And it's just, I've been trying to figure out how to export this thing. I've exported 2 other videos since. So it's not the programming. It's not the program itself. It's the actual vlog. But I don't know where the error is. And it's driving me absolutely insane. There aren't really any new edits in it that I can think of. And the footage is both from my phone and from my camera, but that's always the way my vlogs are. And those formats never seem to cause an issue with exporting before. So I even took everything else off of my computer, all my other booktube files or, videos in process. I took it all off to make sure there was enough room on my computer for exporting. It is so frustrating. So I want to get that to you guys desperately. I'm proud of the editing. I'm happy with it. I like my thoughts on the second half of the Stormlight Archive. I enjoy all of that, and I'm happy with it, but it will not export. So I'm going to try to troubleshoot a little bit of that today. And then I am almost done editing, finally, my audit video, my 5-star audit video. Those are so fun for me to edit because I actually I forget kind of what's in each section. And it's like a surprise for me too. Oh yeah, that book is on my 5-star list, So I'm almost done with that. Hopefully I can get that out for you guys today, or finish it today and get it out for the patrons this weekend, and then for everyone else next week. I've never caught a live of yours, and I have no idea what to say. Well, now that I'm here, hi, Mike. So I don't usually do this form of live, actually. Typically, when I do these kind of hangout lives, it's with my patrons, or I'm doing a page doing, or I'm with other people. So this is actually kind of new, and we're just hanging out. You can say anything you want. What are you reading? Tell me what you're reading or watching, or what media are you engaged with at the moment. We don't really have a specific topic. Or if you have any questions about Japan, I also want to use these lives to kind of answer those as well. Because I had mentioned earlier in the stream that when I asked people what Japan content they wanted before Hayato and I move in the next 3 to 4 months, a lot of people had specific questions about daily life and things like that. But that's kind of hard for me to create pre-recorded content around, because I don't know exactly what people want to know. So while I'm preparing all of these books, so I didn't show you guys this cover. I'm wrapping number 8 Tokyo Ghoul right now. So while I'm wrapping these books to prepare for the move, I thought it would be good to do a Q&A style kind of live. So you can ask me anything that you'd like to know about me living here as well. I think that would be fun to chat about. Oh my God, I second guessed the first thing I should say a million times. Connor, you and I talk all the time. I guess it is different when it's live because other people can perceive you and what you say. So I do understand that. But y'all can just shoot the shit with me. Whatever you want to say. Tell me what's going on in your life. What are you reading? What are you engaged with? Like I said, ask me about Japan. Any of that's fine. What do you think you'll miss most about Japan? That's an interesting question, Aubrey. A lot, obviously. Well, the food is kind of a easy answer. I will definitely miss Japanese food because while I do miss some stuff in the States, it's not the same. I don't know how to describe it. I'm going to miss, the food, and then things being on time and not broken. That, you know what? That's what it is. So it's things being on time and not broken, and the service. Those two things. So whenever I go back to the States and I get on uh, I live near DC. Whenever I use the DC subway system or metro system, I'm like, what is this? How is this fun? Half of it is always broken down. It's late. There's no staff anywhere. Every time I try to like charge my card, it doesn't. The machine like doesn't work, or there's an error message. There's just things are always broken. Okay, especially with public transportation. In Japan, not the case. If something is broken, someone will literally like kind of do that jog run over to you, you know, when you feel like you look like you should be rushing, but you don't want to run. They'll do that to fix the thing for you because it's so rare that things are broken. And then the service, like I mentioned, like people actually being willing to help you. Or in restaurants, which is something that Hayato and I really want to integrate into our future restaurant, the kind of izakaya style of service, in a good izakaya anyway, where when you enter, everyone says "irashaimase," so welcome together. It's like something that the entire staff says. When a customer goes home, they announce a customer is leaving, and everyone says thank you as a staff. So, but it has this like lively atmosphere to it, and it feels like people really care. I'm going to miss that so much, because even when I go home and I'm like trying to get Chipotle or something, I swear the service gets worse every time I go home. Because yeah, last time I was home and I had to get my Chipotle, of course, and I felt like I was inconveniencing the people by like existing in their establishment. Like, I'm so sorry that I would like to buy a burrito bowl. Like, I apologize for my existence here. You know, like, what do you want? There were no pleasantries. You know, it's not that you need to smile and be perfect, you know, but it's also, why are you making this unpleasant? Why are you making this interaction so much more unenjoyable than it needs to be, right? We could just be pleasant to each other, make each other's day slightly better, and move on. You know, I'm here to get a burrito bowl. You're being paid to be here, so, you know, you can't be anywhere else. So why not make this experience more enjoyable for the both of us? You know? And so I just feel that every time I go home, the service is just god awful. There was also a restaurant that I went to that I took my Japanese family to, and I was embarrassed for like my fellow countrymen because my Japanese family, we asked if we could sit outside, and they hadn't set up the outside yet. So they said the outside is closed. And I'm like, that sounds sus. Then tell me how 30 minutes later they were seeing people outside. Anyway, so they put us in like this other room far, like there were two rooms. They put us in like the back room. And I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe they're just like trying to figure out who's organizing what tables. Maybe there's a server that's running this room. They want some people on that servers. You know, I don't know. There must be a reason they put us over here. Tell me how no one came to our table to take a drink order or anything. I had to go out there and say, hey, no one has asked us for an order yet, and it's been like 15 minutes. They come, the food's late, they don't come to check on the table. It was just, I was embarrassed. I was genuinely embarrassed to have my Japanese family there. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Because Japan could never. So yeah, the service and things actually working are probably the things that I'm going to miss the most. Oh, right on. Is Tokyo Drift an accurate representation of Japan? It's perfect. You know, people be drifting all day, every day. No one drives normally. Everyone's always skirting around corners. You know, there are some areas of Tokyo that have that kind of nightlife, neon-y vibe that's always in media. Those corners of Tokyo do exist. But in general, it's, how do I describe it? Mundane, maybe. It's a lot more mundane than people realize. I mean, I'm not an expert on Tokyo, though. It's so funny when people visit Japan. They're like, hey, Taylor, I know you live there. Can you tell me some stuff around Tokyo? And I'm like, couldn't tell you. I was like, I am a tourist as well when I go there. I know a couple good places, but that's about it. Like a good bar or two. But ask me about Fukuoka, I could talk for days. But Tokyo, I don't really know much. This sounds like the MBTA. Everything is absolutely busted all the time, right? But like, why? It feels purposeful. I've stopped wrapping my books. Let me get back to this. It feels purposeful. Like, how can it be broken this often? Are they designed to break in the way that iPhones are designed to last for like a maximum of what, like 4 to 5 years or something like that? Like, are you guys designing this stuff to break? Because there's no way. It just doesn't make any sense. God forbid you need help finding a human to help you in the DC Metro. Absolutely not. No way. Used to live in NYC and the subway. It was always a pain. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm just going to miss that, right? Because I feel like it's a universal experience in America that our public transit is just always broken or not useful. And I know that we're a car country. We always, we have been my entire life. But I've gotten used to living in a country that's not a car country. And yeah, I'm going to have a hard time adjusting back from that, I feel. I do miss driving, though, because I don't drive here. It gives me such anxiety. When I tell you some of those back roads and the parking spots, I will take an extra 30 to 40 minutes to ride my bike there with Sumire on the back. When Hayato and I used to run a fried chicken stand, I don't know if all of you were around when that was happening, but we ran a fried chicken stand for a while. And we were so incredibly busy because we both had full-time jobs and also did that. And there was this like back road that we would take to skip the lights to go to where we would set our stand up. And that road gave me such anxiety. There isn't enough room for two cars to pass each other. So you have to be aware. There's certain areas of the road where two cars can pass each other and certain areas where they can't, but it's still two-way. So they have like all those mirrors that like you can see around corners and stuff. And there's schools in that neighborhood and stuff. So like kids will be riding their bike home from school. There'll be kids walking. There's just people, on the road as well. And there's barely any room for sidewalks at all. And there's also like light poles. So you kind of have to swerve around. But people treat this like it's a main thoroughfare. I'm telling you. And every time we would go down this road, I would just be like, I am so glad I'm not driving. Nope. This is solidifying the fact that I never want to drive here. Because, Geez, Taylor, underachiever much? Yeah. Yeah, you know what, though? I need to underachieve more. I really do. Because, I don't know, every time that I have a day where I don't have a lot on my docket, I struggle to actually relax. And I feel like maybe that's why reading matches me so well. Is because if I decide, okay, today's a day where I can relax, if I sit down and immerse myself in the book, I'm relaxing without realizing I'm relaxing. Like I have to trick myself into not being productive by reading. But reading is such an absorbing thing that I kind of forget that I'm relaxing, if that makes sense, which is ridiculous. But yeah, I have a hard time giving myself a day to just do nothing. I really do. If I'm with friends, it's different. But if I'm by myself and have a day, I'm like, oh, there's so much I should be doing, right? So reading is great for that. Here's the 10th volume, Tokyo Ghoul. I have 16 here. And then I think I might do Parasite and then head out. But reading is relaxing. It is relaxing. But it doesn't feel like it because I am engaged in something, if that makes sense, right? I'm getting involved in the world or getting lost in the story, and I don't really realize that I'm relaxing. So I almost have to trick myself into doing that, which is just silly. That's like the Ottawa road construction. It's the make work program where they're just busy for the sake of being busy. They'll have to fix it again in like 2 years. That's what I'm saying. Like, it feels like they're not designed to last. I don't know. Like public transportation is fast fashion, and cars are, I don't know, Levi jeans. Well, I don't know. In recent years, cars seem to be less reliable as well. At least I've heard kind of from the, so what I'm looking for, the zeitgeist. That's not the word I'm looking for. From the ether, that they're becoming less reliable. Here's 11. That's a nice one. Oh, so I wanted to try these covers actually, because I wanted to see if I felt like they were good enough to put on like the expensive books back here, and I think they are. So I need to buy. There's none that are the exact size for my hardcovers, my English hardcovers, but they're close enough. So I think I will just go ahead and buy those, and then I can start wrapping my books eventually. Why can't I get this in here? Sometimes I just struggle randomly. Okay, there we go. I think sometimes we think doing nothing is the same as relaxing, but some people cannot relax while doing nothing. Hey, that's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah, I feel like I might be one of those people. I need to be doing something. I just feel better when that's the case. Okay, on to number 12. 2 different eye colors. I don't think I've met this character yet. Where I'm at. Wow, the art in here looks better than in the beginning of the series. That's something Hayato kind of brought to my attention. He's like, you'll see a lot of like mangakas get better at their art throughout. He cares more about story than the way that it looks. So he's like, he'll be telling me about this manga he's reading. I've never heard of it or something. I'm like, is it good? He's like, yeah, but the art sucks. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess he's pretty strict about art style that he likes. I'm trying to remember. There's one that he particularly likes. I think it's a slam dunk author. Can't think of his name right now, but he's like universally praised for his drawing skill, and Hayato loves his work. But okay, can I get this one on? Yes, there we go. Do you guys have you guys ever read a manga or watched a movie or anything like that where you're like, this visually is not appealing, but I like the story enough that I'm going to read or watch it anyway? I'm trying to think if I have something like that. I don't know. Manga does bother me if the drawing's awful. You know, there's one actually. So Monstrous is a comic that I have the first 4 volumes of, and honestly, I wish more people knew about it. But it's a fantastic series. I love the story. And while the art is absolutely beautiful and its style, like it's stylistically beautiful, the action scenes are god-awful. Like you can't tell what's happening, who's moving where, what weapons are being used when, you know, it's just, yeah, the actions are terrible action scenes. But I like it enough that I continue to read it. But every time an action scene comes up, I'm like, oh, you need to work on your drawing there. So that's something that comes to my mind, where the visual aspect, I overlook it for the story a bit. Here is 14. Did you hear about the bad Junji Ito show? No. I'm assuming they tried to do a live adaptation. if it's getting bad reviews anyway. I haven't read his stuff because I feel like it would just unsettle me too much. I don't know. I know what his stuff is about, and I've seen like some of the main panels, like of course with Tomi and the spirals and all that. So I've seen some of his like main big panels, so I kind of know his vibe and what he's about. But I feel like that kind of creeping dread would freak me out a little bit too much. I don't know. I just haven't jumped in. I don't like body horror so much. Like I don't hate it, but visually I don't enjoy looking at it. So I just feel like his stuff would not be for me. Because it's so focused on the body horror aspect, at least from what I've seen. So I imagine anyway that would be hard to adapt because it's all about, the vibes, the atmosphere. Seems to be very important to his work. It was animated, but the animation was half finished, if I'm thinking of the right thing. Half finished? Wasn't there some video game that came out like half finished? It was all hyped up, and then when it was released, it didn't have any of like the specs or any of the things advertised. I feel like that happened. No, it's anime. He wanted a Japanese company to do it. Netflix chose an American one, and he's really mad. It looks bad. Yikes, 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 yikes. Yes, that's the thing. Not that American companies can't grasp the idea of the horror of other countries. But, I don't know the ins and outs of the horror vibes or, thriller vibes from other countries. But speaking of what I know from Japan, horror is all about that atmosphere. It's about what isn't there as much as what's there. Whereas in the States, it's much more in your face, jump scare type. So I imagine that some of the subtleties might get lost in translation, cross-culturally there. I didn't show you this one, number 15. So that's why, like, the Japanese movie Ju-on, right? That's the original Grudge. And it's actually a young boy in the Japanese version, but they changed it to like a big, crazy-haired, scary woman in the States and called it The Grudge, rather than the original idea. So I'm too much of a little bitch to watch either of those movies. Don't get me wrong. Like, I haven't seen either of those all the way through, and I've zero desire to. Like, visual media horror, I'm out. I will not sleep. I'm a little baby. Absolutely not. Written horror, yeah, I can get down with that. But so I haven't watched those movies all the way through. But I have seen some of the major scenes from like The Grudge and stuff. Because when you're a kid and you tell people that you're usually scared, immediately they're like, oh my God, let me show you all these scary things. It's like, why? I just told you I don't wish to consume that. And then all of a sudden, they're like, oh my God, look at this. So, yeah, what was I talking about? Right. So how I can imagine that Junji Ito might lose some of that subtlety maybe in the cultural switch there. Okay, number 16 is complete. So that's all of Tokyo Ghoul. I think I might go grab one of my series and see. Of course, I have Fruits Basket. I have Hanakimi, and I have Hanayori Dango, Boys Over Flowers. Which one should I wrap? I also have some Skip Beat. That's a throwback, but I have just like a couple of them. Maybe I should do Boys Over Flowers. Those are like special editions, and I can see if they fit in this bigger pack here. I think that might be a good idea. So what I'll do is just run and grab those, the next set, and I will be back momentarily. Yeah, yeah, if you guys can just hang out for a second while I go grab the next step. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So this is actually a special edition set. They're so heavy. Oh my gosh. That I got from Book Off. So Book Off is a secondhand bookstore in Japan. That's actually where I got this monster from as well. But Japan's secondhand is like basically new in most cases. So I love going there to get manga. And they sometimes, well, they always have a section of like full series that someone might have donated. And they're usually shrink wrapped together, and you can just buy basically the whole series in one go. And I found, where is the first one? Yeah, so I found, these are all out of order. What happened? I think I did that when I picked them up. The entire Boys Over Flowers series. I don't know if anyone in the chat has heard of it, but it's kind of like the original slice of life shoujo manga. Here it is. So they're stunning. They're so pretty. They've got this like shimmer to them on the outside. Then this is what they look like. See, they have these like cover wraparounds that are part of Japanese books often, but I hate them. I know that some people think you can't resell them for as much without this on it, but I don't want them. So this is what the plain cover looks like. The shimmer's not showing up, but it's got like this. Like this is all rainbow-y. Yeah, you really can't tell on camera. But yeah, this has a shimmer to it. And then if you take the cover off, it's just a slightly lighter imprint of the cover, but then the inside has like these, again, the shimmer's not coming up, but like sketch-like things on the end pages. And it's got this thick kind of cardstock paper to it. It's really nice. And there's a couple color panels, color illustrations in the front. So these were quite cheap as they were secondhand, and I knew I had to pick them up. So I have this entire series, which I think is like somewhere near 16 or 17 volumes, and they're all so heavy. So this is going to be an expensive box when we ship it. But I hope that they can fit in that larger sleeve. Let me see. The Korean live action of Hanayori Dango is iconic. There's a K-drama version of it. Girl, now I know what I gotta search, because I feel like that would give me life. Basically, in this story, it's a poor girl who ends up testing into a high-level rich school. So she's outside of the rich community. And there's the group of 4 popular guys And through some circumstances, she ends up kind of becoming integrated into their group. It's kind of a love-hate relationship going on, and things ensue from there. So it's very much you're one of the original shoujos. Why can't I messed up the tape on this, but it fits, guys. It fits. The F4, that slow walk. Now I'm going to have to look it up. There you go. Hanayori dango. Nice. Okay. So what I think I'll do is I'll wrap the first set of these that I brought with me here. And then I'm going to have to go and prepare for my private session, my private lesson. Because I don't typically do much teaching anymore, but there are some private lessons that I continue with clients and students that I really enjoy. So this particular student is actually going to Australia for her first abroad trip. She's very excited. I think she's heading out in a couple weeks, so I'm helping her prepare for that. Okay. Oh, I didn't show you guys the cover of this one. Hold on. I'm so bad at this. Not showing you guys before I do it. Hang on. Put this in there. Okay. There we go. This is the second cover. Must be so cute to see young people head out on their first big adventure. It is. It is. She's very excited. She just turned 20. So yeah, she's cute. So I'm excited for her. But her English level is quite high. So we've been working more on like having deeper discussions, debates, that kind of thing. So it's not just the pleasantries. She's high enough, which makes it a lot of fun for me in a one-on-one situation. Wow, these books are so pretty. It's another one of those things where I got the series, read the first two, and then stopped. And I could not tell you why. So we're noticing a trend, aren't we? There you go. Number 3. Okay. Does anyone have anything they're excited for this year? If you can believe it, it's still January, right? Like, what even is time? It feels like it's already fucking April or something. But does anyone have anything they're excited for? Whether it's some type of content or, here's number 4. Whether it's some type of content or a trip you're going on. I'm excited for Worldcon because I'm officially going to Seattle Worldcon. Got my accommodations booked and my ticket. I just need my plane tickets. So that's really exciting. Worldcon was such an amazing experience last time. So I can't wait to do it again. I know Crystal will be there. So that's kind of the thing I'm excited for this year. Obviously the move, but you know, I'm not going to get into that right now because there are definitely more group chat thoughts. But with current things in America, you know, there is still excitement there, but it is curbed a little bit. But I am very, very excited for Worldcon. I'm so close to finishing Ash and Stone that I'm dragging myself to finish line one word at a time. Ooh, you're so close to getting there. How long do you think it's going to take you at this point? could you predict like another month, a week or two? I imagine it's going to be so hard when you can taste the finish line, but you're just not quite there yet. I can't wait to read it. Can't wait for you to break my heart. Oh, come on now. There we go. Seattle, here we come. Yes. It's going to be so fun. I don't know if I'm actually going to go to the convention. Well, I'm sure I'll go to the convention hall. But last time for Worldcon, I didn't actually go to any of the events for the actual con. So maybe this time around I'll try to find a way to do a couple of those. But the most important thing is seeing the community, my friends. So I will end up prioritizing that in the end, I'm sure. Bury our bones in the midnight soil. Wait. I've heard of that. What is that? Aubrey, why do I know what that is, but also can't think of exactly? Is that that's a book, right? I think. I know I've heard that name. And it kind of made me excited when I heard it. So I feel like I was excited about whatever I saw. Clearly it didn't stick in my head, but I've heard of that. I need my first reader. I have my first reader booked at the beginning of March. So I'm racing myself, like we said, about deadlines. Yeah. Okay. So we got about a month left. Did I show you guys? This is 5. And 4. 6. Oh, it's a Schwab book. Huh. That, if it is Schwab, I have a very interesting relationship with Schwab's books. I always like her ideas, but then I don't like the application of those ideas. Like her books always sound so interesting to me, but then when I read them, I'm like, I don't know. The application, something about the application doesn't hit for me. Like her Darker Shade of Magic series. The first and the third one, not my favorite. I like the second one because there's a floating market, and we all know that I'm like a slut for market scenes. And there's also a competition, which I also eat up. And I also like, what's her name? Not Delilah. Hey there, Delilah. Not Delilah. This main female character from that series that a lot of people hate. I like her. So it's not because, and I like the second book because she's prominent in it, but a lot of people don't like the second book because she's prominent in it. Is it Lila? I think it's Lila, and I added a duh at the end. But I love the concept of that series. I do. Just doesn't hit for me all the way through. But the new V.E. Schwab, ooh. I mean, vampires sounds like something that she could be good at. And vampires are hot again now. They're coming back with a vengeance. Wasn't it like Nosferatu, whatever, took off as well? So vampires and all of their glory are coming back. I have 2 more to wrap, and then I gotta prepare. These slipcovers are so ugly. But it's like advertising for the live action that was on TV ages ago. Okay, volume 8. And I'll do one more. Yeah, so I think vampires are coming back as like a sex appeal thing and as a horror element. The more gothic element to them. That reminds me of A Dowry of Blood, actually, talking about that. Such a good book. S.T. Gibson really nails both sides of vampires in that book. The kind of like horror, gothic vampire as well as the sexy vampire. They're both present. there. Okay, last one. Oh, I didn't show you. God damn it. 8. And take off this ugly slip. 9. Yeah, so once I finish this one, I'm going to have to head out and get ready for my one-on-one lesson. But I do thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. This is wonderful. I appreciate you guys showing up. I think I'm going to do these quite often in the next couple months, just to hang out and have some people to talk to while I wrap these books. And today, you know, I was kind of doing Hayato stuff and some more obscure manga, right? Well, not obscure, but maybe that's not something that everyone's read. But when I get to like wrapping my English books, you know, we can talk about those books as well when I'm doing it. But yeah, I'll probably just be randomly doing sprints over the next couple weeks and months. So pop in whenever you see it. I was going to say why not both, and then you nailed it by bringing up Gibson. Yes, she completely nails both sides of that. There are a lot of those books, women eating, and all the sapphic cannibalism horror books of last year. True, there was a lot of that. Yeah, lots of like. I saw, yeah, you know what? I didn't read a lot of them, but when I think about it more, yeah, there was a lot of cannibalism going on for a while there in the thriller and horror world, wasn't there? Oh, I dropped all the covers. Let me go throw these out, and then I'll come back and close out with you guys. Just give me a sec. Let me throw out these covers, too. We don't need these. Why would you ruin a book by putting these on there? It's just such a waste of paper. I don't know why they do that. Okay. But truly, thank you for hanging out, guys. It was just a real quick live. I'll be doing this more often at different times whenever I kind of get a chance. So you all are wonderful. And I hope you have a fantastic night, rest of your day, whatever time it is where you are. And I'm going to try to export that stupid vlog later today and get it out for you guys. Y'all are the best. I'll talk to you guys in a bit, okay? Bye. Thanks for hosting. Thanks for coming.